live. Perfect. So, we are continuing on with our Thundering Behemoth, because that is the official name for this very colorful dinosaur I've got here. And just going to try and make some windows get out of my face here. Alright, perfect. So I've got that, and I've got that. And my allergies are much better now, so I shouldn't be so struggling to breathe, which is very nice. So we are looking at this guy here, and I'm probably going to be using a fair bit of the dry brush today. Let's look at that reference that I've been utilizing here. So our fellow doesn't really have any marks on his back, so to say, kind of like these big old, what would we call these? We call these welts, we call them large protective bits. Kind of goes all the way down to the tail. It looks like I need to do a follow-up on here, so you know what, I can do that right now. And we're gonna go just with a green on that. Looks like the color transition isn't quite right. There we go, that's a bit better. It's not that neon. He's bright, but he's not that bright. I could probably even take that a little bit more. Yeah, that's a little too far. Hey, Mikey! How's it going? I'm going well. It's nice to see that the election is finally over. Thank God. Or Odin, or whoever people believe in. Whatever answers those calls. Not to make my stream political. I'm tired. I'm happy to see that it is done for now. How are you doing? How was work today? Tell me about your day. All right. Got some good little paint bits over here. Yoink those out. I'm going to be using lots of greens, I'm sure. I'm just going to have the selection of choices in front of me. Ah, lemons! Nice to see ya. Good to see it over with. I agree. What is going on? No work today. Did my D&D game with my roommates. Oh, how is that going, man? I'm glad to see that you got to get some live IRL D&D going. That always makes me happy to hear. Let's see here. I am trying to figure out what to do with this. Where to go forward. One thing I was wanting to do before I forget, because forgetting happens lots, I'm going to correct a mistake I did earlier on. I had a little bit of an accident, and I went over what appears to be some injuries on our dinosaur friend. So, I'm going to correct that. So we can see one's right here. Oh, seagulls. I can hear seagulls IRL. I hate seagulls. They are far too persistent in trying to steal my food. Let's see here. Almost kind of looks like it bleeds over into that, but I think this this is the actual injury bit here. And I know that there's another one right here. Here we go. Oh, and I found another. Went really well. Snazzy! Ah, hey, Snazzy. Nice to see you join in, too. Gonna lurk till my show with my wife is over, then I'll chat. Yeah, no worries. So I'll see you when you're in, man. Nice to see you there, Snazzy. What's poppin'? Not much. I'm just correcting some overbrushing that I did earlier. I got a little too zealous with my inks, and I missed that he had some boo-boos. So one absolute newbie who we had to help out, but she had a lot of fun. I just went easy with the rules. Yeah, no, I think that, honestly, I think 5e is phenomenal for the ability of a person being able to join in for the first time ever, not having read the rules, and things being straightforward enough that they can, learn on the fly. I love that. I was having a conversation with some people that were strong advocates for 3.5, which is fine. It's not my game, but I'm not a 3.5 fan personally. But maybe I can make this like a little harder or something like that. Or maybe I can I can mix this with something. I think what's great is that you can have the game of your choice and have fun with it. That's I think. There is an edition for everyone. No edition should be for absolutely everybody. Doesn't even play video games. So D&D is kind of weird concept to introduce, but honestly, believe everyone can enjoy it in some way. Well, I mean, like, if you think about it, right? Like, video games as how we're familiar with it, like, tabletop predates that, right? Like, in the 70s. So, like, the video games that were around then were like the Famicom and stuff. So, it should be good. I think I see no problem with that. But yeah, no, it felt like people were getting a little stressed when there was the conversation of like, they were very like, oh, I hate 5th edition, it doesn't work the way that I want it to. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, like, that might be a DM issue. That might be that your DM didn't know how to handle what you were requesting. But like, in the end, it doesn't, that doesn't make the edition bad. It's just, it's not the game that you want. That's fine. I feel like with how, read my insult, you D&D nerds with your 5e talk. There we go. Sorry, man. Chat's lively today. Yeah, absolutely. Read my insult. I love that. Just play whatever game you want. Yeah. No, I feel like with the way that this person was wanting their games to run, like this felt like someone who would love GURPS. Like, just an over the top crunchy game, right? Like, again, totally cool. You can have that. So Snaz, do you not play role-playing games? I know you like video games, but I don't know what your experience with RPGs is. You're a Starfinder guy. Yeah. That's right. Because Lemons was telling me that he plays sci-fi games. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. I really want to give Starfinder a chance. More realistically, though, just because of what my group comfortably plays, we would probably much more likely be playing Espergenesis, which is a you know 5e SRD sci-fi game. Yeah, it's a pretty nice one. I do like it. Yep, Lemons introduced me to it. That's fantastic. So I'm realizing I probably need to change my lighting here a little bit because I'm having a little bit of hard time seeing. The camera's fine, but I'm going to drop this to 0 first and then do that. Let's see here. So I need that. And then there we go. And now that's too orange. So there we go. I'm getting better at the live camera editing on the fly there. I'm getting better at it. What kind of character do you play in Starfinder? You should join one of our one-shots. It'd be fun. You know what? I would totally be cool with if we can find a day that works. Because I have a weird schedule because I work night shift. But I would totally be willing to join in on one of your guys' games. So I am willing. I am willing. You can attempt to convert me into Starfinder. Actually, my very first game of an RPG was years ago in the 2000s. Third edition, not even 3.5. Third edition had just come out, and the stars were not right for me to join. I was in the wrong group to play with, and the rules weren't really well explained to me. Like, and I don't know if anyone here's like read or tried reading through. There's a little bit of overdraft there. Reading through the third edition player's handbook, but man, it is a snore fest. No, not convert, just introduce. I'm cool with that. Hey man, I have a massive RPG collection. I probably have the PDFs from for Starfinder from some humble bundle or something. I know that I have at least the basic rules, so I can try and do a little homework ahead of time. Yeah, no, I would be super down with that. Ha, nope, I do not play Destiny. I do not play what I used to jokingly call Halo 5. Or Halo 6 or whatever. I can't remember the timeline of what the releases were. All I know that it was very evident that this was Destiny was Bungie's, if they were to make Halo an MMO. But yeah. Yeah, basically. I'm not allowed to play Halo because they swear. No. Remember, Mikey? You were talking with Dan about it. Master Chief does not swear, and that you got to do well by Master Chief. Although I'm pretty certain, Sergeant Johnson, he swears. He says shit. Oh man, now I swore. Heck, Twitch is gonna cancel me. I'm 12. You are not 12. Don't mislead people. Cold is almost over. Jesus. Now you're painting it like a hangout with 12-year-olds. Gonna get me in trouble. And that's going to cause a lot of confusion because I shout out your podcast pretty often. And then we're like, who the heck's the 12-year-old on that podcast? Alright. So I'm liking how this is going on. Basically what I'm doing here is, because I kind of want to tie things together, but I don't want these to look too much like bone. I'd rather them look like thick, hard calluses. I've just taken some green and I've mixed it in with the same color that I use for the actual horns and stuff, just to try and tie the model together a little bit so they don't look too weird. I want to be tank of the soldier class. A very deep voiced 12-year-old. So I might need a little bit of context there, Snazzy. So, want to be tank of the soldier class? Is that a Destiny reference? Is that a Starfinder class or like subclass? Talk me through it, man. Talk me through it. I want to know. I want to understand. That's what I play in Starfinder. Cool. Okay. So I'm guessing a tank is like an equivalent of a subclass? Looks like sun's hiding behind some clouds, so sorry for the sudden lighting change there. Oh, somebody's texting me. Who's texting me? Get off your phone, Chris. Yeah. It's just brother and sister-in-law. Yeah, what do we got here? One sec. Up. Let's see here. Need to give cousin the link to the stream. There we go. Unless she's already here. If you're here, hi Ashley. If not, then nah. Tank is a high health character. Okay, cool. Whenever I hear tank, like, I know that, like, because of, well, basically due to my one friend persistently all the time trying to convert me to World of Warcraft, I ended up always associating tank with, like, high armor class, pulling aggro, lots of health, like, all that stuff. Even though I know that that's not universally what a tank is all the time. But, I mean, it does make sense that if you're going to be tank, that you should be up in the front and trying to get everything's attention. So that helps. Yep, all that. All that jazz. Mikey, I am sorry, I've just come to a realization. This dinosaur doesn't have a butt. I cannot give you the content that you crave. There's no butt. How dare. I mean, like, what would you call the booty on this dino? No, so I'm seeing there's more ouchies on the model that I did not notice before, so that's cool. So I can detail that, make it a battle-hardened dino. Don't show the butt to the 12-year-old. That's how you get in trouble. But it's the content he craves. No. have to comply. No, it's all good. It's the context they lack. Yeah. No, with what was it? There's the Cthulhu model, which had the barnacle butt, and the gorilla, which also had a very defined butt on its model. So Mikey was getting some kicks out of that, some laughs. I'm really liking how this is turning out. And I'm feeling the shakes from the coffee I had earlier. Usually I try to wake up as early as possible so I can down my coffee so that I don't experience the shakes while I'm on stream, because caffeine will make your hands shake. Because it is actually a paralyzing agent that affects the nervous system. But, interestingly, while it impacts motor function skills, it heightens neuroactivity. Because caffeine, fun fact, is a natural pesticide. It kills insects. It's actually poisonous at high dosages. And we drink it to feel awake. Lurk. Yeah, it's all good, yo. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for dropping by. I'll see you soon when you come back. And if you don't come back, that's okay too. Just a chill little painting room here, so it's all good, yo. Let's see here. I see people in chat doing that. Does it do something specific? I think that there's some people end up making a command for it. I don't know how to do commands. I am too noob for that. But I think they're just trying to let me know that they're going to be sticking around. But yeah, no, I have no idea how to do commands. Do you know how to do commands, Mikey? I'm not cool enough for that. Although I work in information technology, I probably should, but really, I just go and turn the camera on and paint. So, nah. Yeah, I hear you, bud. Me playable. Hello, me playable. How are you doing today? It's all good if you're lurking. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Oh, that looks like another boo-boo. I'll have to do that. So the reason I'm painting those white is because I am going to use a red contrast paint that I have that works really well for injuries. Makes them look nice and fresh and meaty. Getting really surprised lately on how many people show up in my stream. It's nice. Get a lot of good friends. Been meeting new people through Twitch. I have to say, Mickey, I am thankful for you being part of why I started doing some Twitch. It's really cool. I really dig it. I've started chatting with people all across the world, Australia, Brazil, wide and far, making some friends with similar painting hobbies. It's all your fault, Mikey. If I disappear because some person found out my address, it's your fault. Obviously kidding. But yeah. Well, I want to let you know. I want to say thank you to you. It's very having a better lockdown experience, in part thank you to Twitch. Chris, that's me. I am Chris. I am not Mikey. I would laugh if that happened to me. Same way it happened to you. No, I am Mikey. I am not Chris. Chris is in the chat. I am on the camera. So, I'm gonna take that red contrast paint I have, because contrast paints are good for some things. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh man, there's like nothing usable in here. There we go. Got something. Yeah, see, doesn't that look cool? It really looks like, convincingly, I find, like an open wound. Or like, you know, the meat underneath. Okay, I'm back. I died. Well, I'm glad to see that you got revivified. Welcome back. I made the ouchies look ouchy. Lurk command, a lot of streamers have that, just lets the streamer know that they will be lurking. Yeah. But I end up usually just looking at the comment section myself, so... I don't have anything fancy set up on my stream. I am not that cool. I do not... I Twitch, but I do not Twitch well. Have you ever played a game called Escape from Tankov? I have not. What is it about? With the name Tankov, sounds like it's supposed to be something Russian. Some Ruski. It's a hyper-realistic loot and shoot. Oh. Is it like a first-person shooter? like FPSs. They are my preferred genre a lot of the time. It will make me cry. Welcome back, Lemons. Will it make me cry tears of joy? Tears of sadness? Tears of frustration? Because I'll tell you what, Doom Eternal makes me cry tears of frustration and anguish. Because I am frustrated on the difficulty increase of it. Not that it's bad. It's much more difficult than Doom 2016. Because I was able to complete Doom 2016 on hard mode, aka ultra violence, and man, the amount I have to like start over on Doom Eternal. Oof. I also have a hard time being motivated to complete it. I feel like they made a lot of enemies a lot uglier. Not in like a, ooh, that looks cool ugly. Just like, oh man, like why did you make this design choice? Ugh. Like the Mancubus looks so much worse now. Like I loved how they had like the cybernetic Mancubus previously. Like it looked really cool. And now it's just like, really, like an overweight guy, like with gun arms. That was the best. Like you guys felt that this was an improvement. Hey, Mike the Lemon, or the Lemon, Tears for Fears. Yeah, it's my citrus group. Citrus powers activate. Yo. All right, so. I think that in this case, realistically, I probably should have gone with a darker color. But I'm going to put in some washes in the crevices here to get some better definition out of this. I usually am not wanting to do so, but doing good. Got some Thai food. Oh man, I love Thai food. Thai is so good. I am a huge fan of pineapple fried rice. It's delicious. I get it every single time. Where's my washes? Here we go. So I got my soft and my strong tone. Is the soft tone gonna be enough? I don't really want to use the strong tone if I don't have to. Pad Thai. I will say I don't know what it is. Pad Thai is not my jam. I couldn't tell you why. I lack the enjoyment that it gives so many people. Let's see here. No. As usual, soft tone is just too mute. We're just gonna take that out of the palette there. It's useless. It's only really good for white colors. Alright. Speaking of food, I had a crunchy cheddar chalupa from Taco Bell today, and it was delicious. I can't remember the last time I had a Taco Bell. But I do want to order some Chipotle today. Because I work after the stream. And I don't really want to cook. So I'm going to have to go over all of this because the wash, while it's going to do good stuff in the crevices, it's going to just ruin these horns. I find lately, I don't know if it's just my strong tone is too old or what it is, but it does awful things to my minis these days. It's very streaky. The dark wash, it seems to go by fine, but lately I've been avoiding using my washes for the large part. I love Taco Bell. I miss Taco Bell. Now, I can't say that I have the greatest options for authentic Mexican food here in Vancouver, because I have been to California, and man, the state's got some real good burrito options. But we do have some that I really, really love. If anyone ever goes here up to Vancouver, I recommend a place. I'm trying to remember the name. I can't remember the name for the life of me. What is it? Freaking heck. I gotta look this up now. It's in Gastown. What's the name of that place? If I go, let's see here. I'm gonna go into Google Maps. We're gonna go burrito. It's not mucho burrito. They're okay at best. No, I'm looking for. Get out of here. Let's see, not Delta. No. We want to go into downtown Vancouver. We're going to look in here. Search this area. No thanks, I don't care about that. Not Gringo. Taco Fino. Oh my heck. They have some phenomenal burritos. Like, good, like, forearm sized burritos of just pure flavor. Oh my heck, it is incredible. I look forward to visiting them again once the pandemic is over. However, I will say they are in a little bit of a sketchy area. But, you know, if the food's good enough, I'll go to a sketchy place. So, not to talk about elections too much, but nice to see that the elections are finally over. I think we can all have a thankfulness that that stress is over. Not to say that there won't be incoming drama. I know there will be incoming drama. I'm just happy that one part of the process is done. How's the day going? It's pretty early for me. I'll be honest. I work night shifts, so gotta sneeze. There we go. You know, I was happy to see that a final count of the ballots happened today. Besides that, I mean, you guys are seeing some of the earliest part of my day. Yeah. It's gonna call for his recounts. You know, it's a sore loser, but that's to be expected. And obviously, he's gonna try and bring things up with the Supreme Court. No, it's not a surprise. So that was to be expected. But given, you know, what the polls were, I don't think there's going to be any change from a recount. You know, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's actually looking a bit nicer. I like that. I'm realizing I'm not even painting on camera. I'm so sorry for that. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Snazzy. This is gonna get dragged on for as long as he can reasonably drag it on for. You're totally right. But one part of the drama is finished, which is nice. I was tired of holding my breath in anxiousness, Not that I was obviously actually holding my breath, but you get what I mean. I would just like to see, the states in better hands. Someone who treats the pandemic like a pandemic. Not to mention all of the other things, but I don't want to get too political. I just want to enjoy painting right now. Not that I'm not political. I have very strong opinions on a lot of these things. Definitely think this has been one of the worst 4 years in United States history. And I'm not even American. I'm Canadian. What's my favorite dinosaur? That's a great question. There we go. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you for helping me sidetrack. I really like the Spinosaurus. I think they're very cool. It's like a giant alligator T-Rex with like a big frill. Like, come on, how is that not super dope? And like many kids, I got introduced to them from Jurassic Park 3, which a lot of people didn't like, and I can understand why. There was a second island. What do you mean there was a second island? Literally never mentioned in the first 2 movies, and then now people are going to the second island. Obviously, not great writing. But, big dinosaurs. That's all I cared about as a kid. Got a blotchy pink on the tail. Yeah, I got... Oh, this. You missed that, Lemons. Here, I'll show you in just a second here. When I was originally doing the mini, there were these wound areas. So you can see that like the lines don't match up like this, and they're just slightly recessed. So you can see here that the lines go across from where the skin wrinkles go. These are actually injuries. And there was another one that I saw, I think, that it was supposed to be on this side. They're a little hard to tell with all the skin wrinkles, right? So that's why I painted over them with green originally. Here we go. This looks like that's another one. So it's ever so slightly recessed, and you can see there's that line there. Like it makes a circle. No, I did do that though. I did do that right here, and I can't get it out. But luckily, when it's on the table, no one can tell, and it just looks like shadow. So, but I absolutely did get pink on it. So, but now that I found that other little injury spot, I'm going to do this right here. So what I'm doing is just to think out loud, is because I'm using a contrast paint for muscles and injuries, what I'm doing is I'm just going over it with an off-white. The off-white I'm using is, it's like wolf gray from Vallejo Game Color. And so It's not quite a full white because I don't want it to be a bright red. I want to get some of like the natural differentiations that you would see. And so we're just gonna make sure that this isn't too thick because we want to preserve the recesses. There we go. And so I'll go with that, or I'll let that dry, and I'll go in with another one. This is one of my favorite paints. I got to use Wolf Gray so much. It's really nice. It's a nice, like, if you're highlighting blue, like for the highest highlights, it's beautiful. Oh man, look, the sun's come back again. Ah, there we go. Keep it consistent, sun. I hope that wasn't too blinding for everyone so far. I mean, obviously my skin is, oh my god. Let's see here. What can I do a little bit more? There we go. I don't want to blind you guys or make it hard to watch a stream. So let that dry a little bit more, and then we go in here. We're just going to touch up the tops. And when I go over that with my contrast, I'm using whatever the hell this is. I think it's Blood Angels. It's yeah, Blood Angels contrast red. It works lovely for like gory muscle, like from a fresh injury. So the white usually dries really fast, so I can let that go, and then I'm just gonna dunk in here. Just to be certain, and here we go. And we're going to go in, and this is going to make some lovely muscle injuries, because it's going to delve into the recesses. Make sure we get all the white. And if it overlaps a little bit, that's okay. You know, then it just looks like blood. There we go. And now, you know, life as a dinosaur is hard. It's not easy being a big old dinosaur. So, I can see here that I have missed a couple spots, so I'm gonna set up. I think that's all dried up. Are you dried up? Can I use you? Yeah, I can't use that. I'll have to use some more. Alright. Gonna go hang out with the fam? Yeah, thanks for joining in there, Snazzy. You have yourself an excellent rest of the day, okay? Hope things are nice and chill for you. It was nice to see you drop by. I hope you got to enjoy a little bit of painting. Totally did. Thank you for the content. Oh, thanks for dropping by, man. It was nice to talk with you for a little bit. So, Lemons, what do you got planned next for your next mini? I remember you were saying that you bought that Griffin to paint for stream, and then you ended up just painting it all right away. Which I totally understand, by the way. Yeah, I get you. I get you. I get that feeling. Sometimes just so hard to resist. I think I'm going to start on some Drukhari ships. Is that
Warhammer, I'm not too up to date with Warhammer anymore, although it is what originally got me into painting. I'd ship that. Okay, yeah, it is 40k. Dope. Dope, dope, dope. So I think I might take a little intermission with the dinosaur after I'm finished this before I go into the next big one. I might do the graveyard golem, but do you guys want to see the mini that I'm going to be doing next? Basically, the next big mini. Because the graveyard golem is much smaller than this. Because it's another dinosaur. I'm enjoying painting the dinosaurs with inks. And once again, I have overdone the wash. I did not need this much on my palette, and I overdid it. Alright. Check my Discord. Yep. It's gotten too dark again. What the heck, son? What the heck? There we go. Make sure I'm not blinding quite. Oh. Whew. Getting hungry. That bowl of cereal was not enough. Alright, so looking at those are looking nice, nice. Very nice. Heck, where's that khaki? Ah, there it is. So, I'm gonna fix up some of the damage the washes did here to the model. I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna go over all these highlights here. So I was thinking of ways of using Triceratops in Dungeons and Dragons earlier today. And, you know, in Magic the Gathering, there's a set called, what is it? Ixalan. and dinosaurs are like worshipped as like avatars of deities, which is really cool. Which kind of falls in line with like, you know, how I was talking about using a giant ape previously, but much, you know, not so much on the giant ape train. I was thinking about, you know, what if, because it's not like a Triceratops is big, scary, evil monster, but what could be cool about it, because like it was believed that they were very like pack oriented, right? Like kind of like a herd of rhinos. Like you don't screw around with a herd of rhinos or like water buffalo, you know. But maybe the party is given a mission to try and like prove their worth, and what they have to do is like there's some ceremonial ritual, maybe like from a clan of bugbears, and they need Triceratops meat for the ritual to be, you know, properly ordained. And so now the players have to go and, you know, hunt a Triceratops, which is no minor feat or accomplishment. Because in order to do so, they can't just go up to the herd and attack one. You know, they'll get ganged up on, they'll get killed. So instead, they have to, you know, go and find a way to isolate a single Triceratops, and then take it on like that. And they have to be able to do so in a way that it's far enough that its cries for help won't make it to the rest of the herd. So it could be, you know, kind of something challenging like that. Because obviously you want to make these things memorable, and like it's kind of cool when you have a combat encounter that has to be like really well planned out by the players, not just, you know, go find the monster and kill it. Because even for like a high level adventuring party, taking on like a herd of, you know, 20 huge beasts isn't necessarily a cakewalk, unless obviously like you're like level 20 and then like you use like meteor shower. But then as the DM, I would roll like, okay, cool, you used meteor shower and you killed all of them, but there's no remains that are like usable for bringing it back to the you know, the tribe or what have you. Like you need to be able to return the meat. Like there has to be remains, so to speak. Yeah. Make them work for it a little bit. Sent a picture. Just stripped this today. Oh man, you've been stripping? You send me a strip show, Lemons? Is that what you're doing? Oh, those look cool. I like that. Got some spaceships. Alright. So, horns are looking a little bit better. I think I need to do a little bit more work on this one here. Ah, man. The light. You know, I say it just about every stream, but like when you start out with a mini, it's always going to start off looking like butts. And I was very, very nervous about this one, given how bright the colors that I'm choosing are with the inks. But I'm I haven't even started highlighting the skin, and I am already very pleased with how this is going. Now the chat is getting horny. Oh my. Oh man, Mikey, I'm getting strip shows sent to me. I don't think even you get strip shows sent to you. I mean, I can't speak on behalf of what whispers you're getting. But oh my. Oh my. Gotta spritz you down, chat. Gotta spritz you down. Bad chat. Go back in the corner. All right. But yeah, no. You know, when you start off any model, yeah, especially when you're trying something new, you just got to keep powering through with it. It'll pay off if you stick with it. No way, bro. Mikey's been streaming Resident Evil 4 the last, well, basically for the month of October. And Leon Kennedy is quite quotable. We'll just call it what it is, right? So funny. All right. So, go with that. So I can't remember if I already asked, Mikey, how was work today? Or no, I think I did ask, and you said you didn't work today because it's Saturday. God, Chris, get your head in the game. Oh man, I just heard the toaster oven go off. That is making me hungry. Like I was already hungry, but now I'm hungrier. Keep checking to see if I'm getting special delivery food. I'm not. Alright. Let's see here. Let's see. Cool. So, back to the horns. What is going on in there? Is that? Oh, I think that's my upstairs neighbor. You guys hear a thumping. Gosh darn neighbors. And I'm doing it again. Heck. There we go. So, worst streamer ever, Chris. Holy heck, man. I saw this one person that they were streaming, another crafting channel, and they had like a hookup where it was like connected to their neck with like the camera. I would be worried like something like that though, like the movement would be a little too jarring, but I guess it wasn't. Let's see, can I get this up here? There we go. There we go. So right now we're just trying to do some contrast here for the horns. Just make the lighting on them a little bit better. The wash gave us some nice shades. I'm gonna try and preserve most of that. But yeah. Try and make it look like the lighting is hitting it well. I think hiding that there helps a little bit. How's the weather for everybody? You guys having some good weather today? Sorry if I'm not too chatty right now. I'm kind of in the zone, but I want to make sure I engage with you guys. It's cold. Is it like, what temperatures are you seeing? Like 12, 10? So we've definitely been getting some pretty chilly, like 9 degrees here. All that obviously in Celsius. The measurement that makes sense. None of that Fahrenheit nonsense. $25 here. Oh, hello, Paladin. How are you doing today? I hope you're enjoying the stream here. 11 Celsius. Oh, jeez. Whereabouts are you at, Paladin? 25 sounds like it's nice and warm. Unless that's Fahrenheit. I don't know 25 Fahrenheit very well. But I assume 25 Fahrenheit is cold. Are you painting miniatures as well there, Paladin? Oklahoma. No, I converted for you. Oh, how sweet of you. That sounds nice and comfy. 25 degrees is nice. How sweet of you to make it easier for me to understand. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm out here in the Vancouver area in British Columbia, so I don't know no darn Celsius. I mean Fahrenheit. Ah, goodness gracious, I'm tripping over my words here. There we go. How you liking the dino coming along here, Paladin? About to start some Artisan Guild stuff I just printed. Oh, that's exciting. I have a delivery for a print from Archvillain Games coming in tomorrow. So I'm super excited to paint that. I'll be painting that on stream. It's the bear folk, or werebear. It could be really anything, but it's a polar bear person with 2 axes. Looking great. I'm colorblind, so everyone here just makes me jealous with their abilities. Oh, well, I love that you're still painting. That's fantastic. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are in the 3D modeling and digital arts industry for animation and video games, and there are take some comfort in it. There are artists that are phenomenal that are in that industry that are colorblind. They often have to just check with their colleagues, is this green or is this red, or is this blue or is this orange, and they produce some beautiful works. So you can do it. You got this. And I imagine that since this is pink and green, a lot of these colors are blending in. So my apologies on that, but thank you so much for the compliments. You got this. I know you can do it. Do you have an Instagram where you post some of your finished works? I would love to see them. And feel free to share the link in the chat. I don't block links or anything. I don't want to hear about it being no virus, Mickey. Unless it's just me that shares all the viruses, apparently. I just started painting like 2 things, so not much to share. Oh, that's all good. You know what? I'm happy to hear that you are giving it a shot, It's a virus, though. I think one of the great things for miniature painting is that even for those who, are colorblind, you're still going to get the description of what the color is on the bottle, right? So, that's phenomenal. I'm so happy to hear that. If you ever do share anything, I'm pretty easy to find on social media. On Instagram, it's Chris underscore BCG, and on Twitter, it's Chris Stewart BCG or something like that. So I feel free to share. I'll take a look at it. I'm happy to hear it. And you know what? Honestly, like everyone starts off, a little rough. I somewhere just for cases like this, I do have one of my first miniatures in arm's reach. And I don't know where it is. Come on. It's hiding. Here we go. So, this right here is one of the first minis that I ever painted. So I'll just go like here. And it's garbage. There's there's absolutely no highlights that I even tried or attempted to put on. I don't know if you can see here on the camera, but I didn't even I put on a single coat of thin paint, and I didn't follow up with a second one, so you can actually see the primer underneath. I caked on some pretty thick white paint. Couldn't stay in the lines there. So like this was painted. I'm an on and off painter. I'll go through a couple years without painting anything, and then I'll pick up again. So I started like 10 years ago. So it's not like I've got 10 years of experience, because I don't. But I just kept trying at it. I kept going on and trying new things. This mini is a little deceptive because I actually, just a couple of things to share. You might have heard of contrast paints. Contrast paints are basically inks. This was using Vallejo game ink, which I have right here. And so what's cool about it is that it does pool up in the recesses while also covering the top areas. So it gives us a natural, darker, more concentrated color in the recesses. So there's different tools that you can use. But if you ever have any questions, or if you want me to give a demo of like how I do certain things, please let me know. Throw it in the comments. I'll gladly stop what I'm doing, and I will see if I have a model that I can demonstrate something on. I'm happy to try and make this hobby, this wonderful, wonderful, peaceful hobby, as easy to start up for new people. I'm not necessarily a master at anything, but I have learned some tips and tricks that might be able to help you out that you didn't know about yet. So, I'm so happy to see somebody new in the stream. That makes me very happy. Awesome, thank you. Hey, no worries, bud. I'm happy to help. I think it's a wonderful hobby, and I think that there can be some people who are very strongly opinionated about certain things when they try to help new people. And I think that while is applicable in some cases, can be a little harmful for people who are new, because it might teach them that something is never appropriate when that's not actually the case. So I think that's just something that's good. So Chris knows his stuff. Well, thank you very much, there, Lemons. I am nothing but an amateur, but I try, and I'm trying new things where I can. So this right here is something that I was experimenting a lot with. So it's turning out all right now. One thing that I can give as a piece of advice is, early on, your minis might look like butts. They might not look fantastic when you first start a miniature. That's always the case for me. So If you just keep pushing it, you can find it'll usually look better as you go. So, I want to highlight some of this here, but I don't know what shade of green to use. I'm a little stuck on that. I'm wondering if I even should shade it. You know what? These little speckles and stuff, I could probably highlight those. Oh, man. Faces are especially difficult. I absolutely agree. One of the things you're going to see a lot actually on my channel is I'm mostly going to be focusing on larger miniatures. Partially because my camera's not phenomenal, but like painting something small like this on cam, let's see here, try and get the focus right. It's a little difficult, right? I would have to really change the focus, so I'm not really going to play around with my focus right now, but you know, I think if you do want me to help out with smaller minis, I'm totally cool with doing that. I don't mind if it's helping someone learn something. So it just might take me a second to get the focus right. All right, I'm just gonna keep doing highlights on it once. That's something I know I can do right now. But one tip I can give you, for sure, Paladin, and I think this is something that I wish I knew earlier on, is it's best to start off with colors that are darker than you're necessarily wanting to start with. Because when you go in to do your highlights, you can create a greater contrast in between your colors, and it'll look a lot nicer. So to give a little bit more of a description of what I mean there, is your shadows will look darker and your highlights will be brighter and it'll pop more. And also don't be scared of making your highlights brighter than you necessarily feel comfortable with. Bold highlights can often really make a piece look good. You've probably heard others say that already, but you know, it's something that I do think is really true. Oh man, I'm not getting straight lines on this very well. What kind of minis have you painted so far? I got Hero Forge. Hero Forge you can do some really cool stuff with. Painted a skeleton spearman. Oh, that's awesome. Are you using, are you painting for like tabletop role-playing games, or are you doing like war games? That's awesome. I love Hero Forge because you can create a color scheme for the mini before you paint it. That's very true. Hero Forge is coming a long way from where they started. They are not the company that they originally were, which is really cool. I myself had the opportunity to kickstart the new color thing, but I did not, so I have to wait for the public release. They just added aliens. Oh, that's so cool. For fun, casual. Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's just a great art form in general. When I first started, I was painting Warhammer minis. Surprise. That's usually what gets people in the hobby a lot of the time. But I was more interested in the painting aspect than I was actually playing the game. So, and today I find Lemons is cool, but I find the culture a little toxic in sometimes, in some ways. Here, one second. I'm just gonna go off camera and blow my nose here. Come on, you. I'm not toxic. I'm just sour. I love that. The color was just released for the public. Oh, that's fantastic. I'll have to keep that in mind. God, I got a sneeze coming up. Ah. Nope, no sneeze. Okay, cool. Well, that's great to know. Thank you for letting me know that. I'll have to check that out. I am only just jumping into the 3D printed game. I don't have a 3D printer, but I have a couple contacts that I've made to print things on my behalf. Am I actually even on the camera? No, I'm not, of course. Come on, Chris. Wake up. Yeah, I'm just gushing about how happy I am that somebody started the hobby. I really am. Because you can do so many cool things. Some people do dioramas, which like I have not gotten into yet, but is so cool. Actually, you know what? I know what I can do here. I'm gonna give you a couple of suggestions on some phenomenal YouTubers that just have some wonderful tutorials to check out. Would you be interested in that there, Paladin? I mean, if not, I won't do it if you don't want to. I'm not going to force anything on you. I should check first if that's even something that you'd be interested in. Sure. We should do a diorama competition. Oh man, you know what? I might be interested in doing that. Okay, you know what? You and me can figure some stuff out there, Lemons. I think I'm willing to give that a shot. All right, so I'm just gonna copy and paste a couple of. Oh, I didn't know that I was streaming myself. Ah, too funny. Yeah, we can work over the details over Discord. I'll PM you, or feel free to PM me, whoever first. Let's see. So I'm going to. I got this here, and I was going to. I'm not even logged in. That's fine. Black Magic Craft is a great one. So. I really like this guy here, Paladin, because he mostly focuses on terrain. So if you're ever interested in doing a diorama or like a scenic kind of display, he's phenomenal for it. He's not the world's most impressive painter, but he's very upfront about that and explains the tools that he uses really well and just kind of the creative process he goes over. And Painting with Jay. Painting with Jay has great beginner tutorials. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, you watch a ton of his videos. Oh, there you go. That's how you learn. Fantastic. All right. I probably don't have anyone else then. Midwinter Minis has some good ones. Ah, man, my nose. You know what? Actually, I think I have the perfect idea for what I could do for a diorama. Oh, man, that's so exciting. I have nothing to base with, though. I'm getting all excited now. Miniature Maniac, he's really good.
He's funny too. Oh, Ninjon. His YouTube name is Ninjon. He has very few videos, but the way that he explains everything is very, very good. He's also friends with Miniature Maniac, as you'd have it. I'm absolutely stumped on what I want to do with this. All right. You know what? I'm going to go with Fluo Green, and let's see if I regret my decisions. I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it. And this is a great example of being uncomfortable with highlighting, not knowing if it's going to look good. So that's too thin. All right. That's nice and translucent. And now, of course, the lighting is gone. Good morning, Spiky Kina. Lovely to see you join. So happy to see you here. We were just talking with someone who's new to painting and trying to give some tips and tricks. But it is always lovely to see you join in. You're just a delight to have on the chat. Yeah, we're just I would like to see if I can finish up our bright, colorful dinosaur here today. I'm not certain if I'll be able to, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I think this is the right highlight color. And me and Lemons were talking about possibly doing a diorama competition to, you know, hone our skills, try some new things. Because I was saying that I've never done a diorama, but I would like to give it a shot. I might actually use my graveyard golem for it. Make a graveyard diorama. What do you got planned for your day there, Spiky Kina? I'll have you know my allergies or my sinus cold, whatever I had, is doing much better today. It's looking good so far. And I'm sad I missed out on the tips. Do you want to hear some? I'm okay with sharing some if you ever want to get started with miniature painting. I'm okay with repeating myself. And, you know, if not, it's always on the video on demand. Dioramas are something I've always wanted to try, to be honest. Yeah, no, I'm very interested in doing it. So if you want to partake, you know what? I will probably stream my process of doing it. I've never done it before. It's going to be brand new territory for me. But yeah, no, I think that's going to be fun. All right, you know what? This is a nice highlight color for it. Basically, I was just going over some of the basics, like, you know, be bold with your highlights. Start off with darker colors. You know, your mini is always going to look kind of like butts before it looks good. You know, stuff that I never really got told. But I know that the paint that I'm using right now, because I'm basically using it as a glaze, isn't really showing up very well on the miniature, but it's giving highlights. I'm glad to hear that you're doing better. My day is still marking, but there's finally light at the end of the tunnel. I'm fine with tips for now. I don't have time to learn new skills right now, and that's, you know what, that is totally okay. That's all right.
I totally hear ya. Time's that thing that we're all limited with, so gotta pick sometimes just a couple passions to focus on at once. I'm glad to hear that the marking is going well. So sorry about hearing, your little troublemaker, your fuzzy child, um, sabotaging the process. Oh, my thumb is in the way. I'm just trying to make sure I don't rub off any of the paint with my hands. Yeah, in terms of diorama, I think I might go with a graveyard because I actually have a couple minis that like set pieces that would work really well for something like that. What do you think, Lemons? What might you start off with? Let's see. Man, this paint is so thin. Really works well, but definitely only really doesn't always show the highest. Oh, no, it's definitely showing right there. That's good. Maybe I just need to be more assertive with it. Whoa, what's that? I don't remember that happening. Oh. There we go. Most mistakes are easy to fix up, so. Does the paint dry quickly, or do you have to wait when you go over sections? Um, it really depends. Some bright colors that are closer to white pigment dries pretty fast. Um, but typically, I do want to make sure that the paint dries thoroughly well enough, because if it's not finished its drying process, what can happen is when I brush over it, I end up peeling the paint off of the mini. So there does have to be a little bit of drying time before I, continue to focus on the same thing. So that's why you see me hopping all over across the model. Um, that's a phenomenal question. Thank you for asking that, there, Spakikina. Um, yeah, because you guys have probably seen me do a fair bit of hopping on the model, not focusing on the same thing more than once. And that is exactly the reason why. So that, go here. And so when you're dealing with like inks or washes, a lot of the time you can just dry up the brush and sponge the color back up if you put on too much, like I did there. Looks like I caught a cat hair. No Ganon with me today. It's not. I think he's a little mad at me. He's been scratching his ear too much, and so he's got this scab that he keeps going over and over again. And I remembered I had some claw caps, which are just like little rubber caps that you put a daub of super glue on the inside, and then you can insert it over top of the claw, so that way you don't have to like trim it to his claw too short or anything like that. And the goal is that will hopefully help the healing process so that he doesn't continue to ravage his beautiful little face. I have a cone in the mail for him, but I'm probably not going to see that for a couple of days, so I needed something to help him from stop him from harming himself. Poor little guy. He's just trying to scratch an itch. Doesn't know that he's tearing his face open when he does it. Sometimes they don't like the things you do to protect them. And obviously you only put on the slightest amount of super glue, so you don't want it to come out of the cap and then get onto the part that's connected to the claw, the little skin bit. That would be terrible. So Luckily, it's just on his back claws too, which don't retract as much as the front claws, so there's not too much of a problem with claw retraction in that situation. Hopefully it works. The claw caps sound friendlier than the cone. I've never seen a happy coned cat. No, yeah. Sometimes I've had them chew the tips of the caps off, but in this application, it should be okay anyways. Even if he does do that, just because it's going to make it more blunt so that he doesn't tear into the skin as much. The scab will probably still come off, but I've got a fuzzy, soft cone that's a bit hopefully more comfortable to wear. Not the hard plastic cones. I have those, but his sister wears them all the time because she has just the worst of anxiety, unfortunately. I don't always have the healthiest cats in the world, but I love my little babies. I gotta try to take care of them. Try to be a good fur parent. Alright. So, you can kind of see a little bit of the pop here. Just the fluo green is doing that there. So that's this bright neon color. Let's see how well it shows up there. It almost looks like radioactive waste. It's a very bright color. And so, I've done that. And now I think I'm going to go over some highlights on the yellow bits. Try to make that more of a popping yellow. So I think for that, I'll start off with this moon yellow and see how well I can get that to work. Still a little bit plugged up, Spiky Kina, but I can breathe. Last time you came on, I couldn't breathe at all. It was just awful. But, you know, it's as life goes sometimes. I'd be keen to see the fluffy cone on him. It's always tough when fur babies are sick. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know how this happened with him either. He just got really itchy one day, but it'll be a cute one. It's like a blue donut that I got him, so I'm not trying to get him to stop licking himself or anything like that. His grooming is fine. He'll come back on the stream soon enough, I'm sure. Breathing is important. Did you know that 9 out of 10 humans like breathing? Yeah. It was rough. I had it rough, so. But it's good. I'm good now. I'm well enough. Last night was the first night in a while that I was able to go to bed without having to down a whole bunch of medicine, so. Now it's just a little bit of boogers. Little boogers and runny nose. Super attractive. So did your homework that you were marking have 2 irreparable of water damage there, Kina? It's all a part of healing, sadly. Yep. I can't remember if you said it wasn't homework, but it was something else, exams or something. My memory's a little fuzzy. I've been on acetaminophen for a few days now, so my apologies if I don't remember everything. I try to pay attention as best as I can, though. I love talking with new people, so. Caught it before he managed to tip it over. I wanted to move everything before he tried again. Absolutely. No. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. My cats aren't too like some cats are, I love them, but some of them are just little devils in terms of wanting to knock things off from high places. I've been pretty blessed in that I've never had a cat that had that obsession. So the worst I have is just Ganon has a happy tail, and he has a happy tail that likes to knock things over. He's not trying to do it, but his happy tail just is up all the time, and then whenever he walks up next to like the coffee table, he wraps it, and then he ends up knocking things over. It just because he's so happy, right? So because when they have their tail up and they're showing their butt off, they're in a very good mood when they're doing that. So once I was playing Xbox and he turned the Xbox off doing that, which I didn't know that his fuzzy little tail could do that. Luckily, I had an autosave. All right. I'm just gonna step off camera, mute, and blow my nose. All right, I'm back. They're all different tests. Most of them are your normal exams questions, but there's 2 scientific investigations that count for their grades. All tests relatively important because you can count for final grades. Yeah, our cats aren't tall enough for that, luckily. Yeah, it looks like you just got like an adolescent cat there. Like a, I don't know what you call a teen, not quite a kitten, but they're still really young and playful. Yeah, I love cats. Or maybe closer to 7, somewhere in there. Oh, 5. Oh, they are so young. Oh, they're so precious at that age. They're impossible to cuddle with, though, unless they're sleepy at that age. My cats are about 10 years old, so they want to cuddle all the time. Oh, did I put the yellow back? I did. not quite done with it. That was a moon yellow, I believe. They still want to play a lot, but they have a high priority on the cuddles. That's cute. We're waiting for them to do that. Yeah, no. Man, at the under a year age, it's play non-stop all the time. I've had cats all my life, so I'm pretty lucky with the two that I have right now. One of them, unfortunately, has, as I mentioned, mad anxiety and allergies, so she's kind of stuck in a cone and has been for the last year, unfortunately. Otherwise, she does a lot of self-harm to herself, but she's getting better. She's getting better, so that's what's important. Still give her lots of love. She's just a precious little baby. One of them, the brown girl, does enjoy the occasional cuddles. That's lovely. I like that. Yeah, when my cats were kittens, shortly after we got them, they had fleas, and so I had to give them a wash and, get rid of the fleas, of course. Dish soap works really well for that. It kills fleas, and it's not harmful for animals, which is why Dawn dish soap gets used for oil spills. But after drying him off, I ended up taking him under some blankets and using my body heat to keep him warm. And ever since that event, he has been non-stop, always wanting to burrow himself in blankets, and as soon as he's under blankets, he purrs a storm. Yeah. No, anxiety on cats is really hard. It's really hard. Yeah. She's improved in some ways, but she scratches her shoulders bloody, so she wears a little sweater to make sure her claws don't reach her skin. And she grooms herself till she's furless. So she has cones in place for that. It's hard, it's real hard. I've never had to deal with that, but with a cat previously. And all she wants is love and affection, though. She's a very lovely cat. She's just scared of the world. So, I try to make life as comfortable for her as I can. That's all I can really do. It's stressful. It's trying, that's for sure. But not a lot that can be done. I need to try giving her some medications again. We were trying some meds before and they just weren't doing anything for her, so I think she just wasn't on the right meds. So we'll give that a try again after pandemic. here right now what we're doing is we're going over the horns with a brighter bone color, this time jack bone from P3. And we're just going over some of the highlights. We're not covering it quite as much. We're covering about, I'd say, maybe 75% of what was covered by the previous bone color. I've got another recommendation for Paladin. Paladin, if you're still here, I suggest you check out Devs and Dice. It is a YouTube channel from a Swedish gentleman by the name of Leif. And his videos are in English, they're not in Swedish. And he has just the most incredible videos for beginners, because he himself is still here. We'll check that. He himself isn't a master painter. He's also relatively new, and he gets to take people down the road of how he has been learning, and things that he would do again, or things that he would do differently. It's quite nice, and he includes all of his errors, and he just said, like, he'll fully disclose, like, this was a mistake, I wouldn't have done this, if I knew it would turn out like that. So great painter. I quite like his painting style. I don't know if I would quite call him beginner, but he, it's an adventure of him going through his boxes of shame, his unpainted mini boxes. It's quite enjoyable. So you can kind of see on the horns, hopefully here, the transitions that I'm kind of talking about that you get. Looks like I need to increase the exposure. There we go. So you can kind of see the transitions of the khaki, the wash, and now this extra highlight. And typically when I'm doing highlights, I like to have 2 layers of highlights for transitions. So you get your base coat, and then you maybe put in a wash. I don't think washes are necessary all the time, but I think sometimes washes can do more damage than harm, personally. But that's only just been my experience lately. A wash, your experience may vary, but getting to go in here with, because I started with khaki, and then I put in a wash to get into the recesses, and now I'm highlighting with jackbone, and I'm going to highlight with one more color after this, and I think that's going to really make all these bone horns just really look nice. It's going to give some dimension to them. They're going to look more three-dimensional. Because right now it looks a little odd. I'm aware that it totally looks a little off right now. But as we progress, it will improve. Let's see here. There we go. It looks like I had a little green blotch there. And of course my ink is dry, so that's... Try and fix that transition there. Let's go here. Get rid of that white There was some green there. We'll just keep it the green. Let's make it intentional. And we'll take what was an accident and we'll try to make it look better. Cool. So that's that for the cheekbone. Eventually I'm gonna highlight these as well. I'm just gonna focus on the horns a little bit and then I'll call her quits for the day. So for our final highlight, I'll use this Vallejo Bone White. And this I'm gonna go super sparing on. I'm only gonna put it on the highest highlights here. I've got another suggestion there for you, Paladin. It takes a while to get used to, but when you have the opportunity, try to use larger brushes. I know that there's always that appeal of you need the smallest brush because the smallest brush will make it look the best. It'll do the finest detail. But a larger brush can hold more paint, making it so that the larger brush dries slower. And Chris, I've been trying to figure out an RPG to play with the guys. I'm more into characters, into role-playing, and find it hard to run D&D online. Running something a bit more lightweight. For lightweight, I would probably recommend, I haven't played, now full disclosure, I haven't played these myself, but I would recommend something like, that runs off of Fate, or runs off of, people say that, what do you call it? Powered by the Apocalypse is really good for that, but I like Fate, personally. So Fate requires special dice, though, whereas Powered by the Apocalypse is just a 2d6 system. The reason why I like Fate is because you get to... the dice are a combination of pluses and minuses, and so you add them together to find out what the success rate of something is. So, for example, let's say you roll based off of the difficulty of something. You roll 4 dice, and you get, 2 pluses and 1 negative. So your end result is a +1, and they roll these dice for everything. So that would be my idea for consideration. I'm not as huge of a fan of Powered by the Apocalypse because there's a curve. There's numbers with when you're running a 2d6 system. There's those average numbers in the middle around 5 and 6. You're going to be seeing that the most often, and because of that, in my opinion, it makes it a little more difficult for characters to develop and grow, unless you start adding modifiers as they go along, like pluses and minuses, which a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games don't really do. So that's my idea. That's my opinion. Chris's hot take. But yeah, so what I was saying with brushes, a larger brush will hold a bit more paint. So I'm using a number 5 here right now. Let's see if there we go. And a number 5 brush by no means is the smallest brush. I've got smallers. I've got a number 3 here. but the point is just about as large, and over time you're going to develop better muscle control for using um, your brushes, which is going to give you a better access and control of using your larger brushes, for doing the same job that maybe previously you required using a small brush for. So yeah. Seeing I didn't paint the backs of these.
Oh my goodness, it's so overexposed.
I pay a bit more attention to the chat than I do to the camera that you guys are seeing through. So if you guys ever find that the light is overexposed, like in other words, it's too bright, feel free to let me know. I do pay attention more to the chat than the camera, so I want to make sure that it's not blindingly bright for you guys, since I am heavily relying on the sun here for the stream. So sorry about that. Sincere apologies. Check how dry that is. That's dry enough. Alright. And with that, I am going to call her a day. Just as soon as I finish that up there. There we go. Oh wait, hold on. Have I done these parts yet? No, I have not.
I
lied. I lied. Okay. Gonna finish just up a couple of lines here, and then it is for realsies Dunzo. At least for today. I'll probably still have one more stream with this dinosaur boy. But I am liking how that is turning out. Look at those horns. Fierce. Alright. Looks less like a toy that you find at a dollar store now. Alright, so, let's see here. I'm gonna see, is there... Oh, hey, no worries, Mike. Thanks, Mikey, thanks for joining as always, man. Let's see what people are online and see if I can throw a teeny tiny raid for them. Oh, you know what? There is... MCDM is online. I could do that. Tome Blades. Let's see here. Painting Trolls and Goblins. You know what? Let's see here. Alright, should we do MCDM or should we do another mini painting? Let's see here. How do I do it? It's like exclamation mark raid, is it? I don't know how to do this. How to raid. Let's do smaller. You know what? I agree. How to use raids. Oh, it's /raid. There we go. /raid. And then channel. Smaller ones. I agree. Let's see here. How many people do you guys have following right now or watching? Two dorks, one brush, live. Come on. We got 23 people in, 80 people. Let's see here. Go with the smaller channels. My computer is super slow right now. I do not know why. Cool. You know what? Yeah. We'll go with these guys here. Two dorks, one brush sounds good. Or not. Hold on. No. Not too big. Two dorks, one brush. Alright, see if this works. Raid now.
Guys, if you don't follow Chris, maybe you can follow.